topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy unique to them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power, and it's been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. And I've done 9 half marathons so far. Mindset is the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing your health, whatever is needed, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. It's also imperative to manage and release those low vibrational emotions, such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all that's going to do is slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has balances, I help my clients release those emotional imbalances so they could go up and become and have better, healthier lives. So when that happens, they are releasing their stress, they're getting healthier, and they're reshaping their core beliefs. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. DebiChangesLives as in victory es.com /linktree LINKTREE, or use that QR code. And I'll help you have that better, happier, healthier life with custom, natural, unique solutions for you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. Today, I'm honored to have Dr. Susan Blumberg. Her company is Dr. Susan Coaching. She's a life coach for parents, teens, and young adults who are ready to become successful, independent adults the way they are meant to be. She's a former child clinical psychologist that turned to life coach and has co-authored 7 books, including an award-winning book, Fighting for Your Marriage. As an expert in twice exceptional children and nonverbal learning disability, she leads a 35,000 parent member community. She is a mother of 2 twice exceptional young adults. So she lives the life that her clients live. And she has a new solo book, The Parenting Compass, Why Smart Teens Struggle. And it's now available on Amazon. The launch date's actually August 4th, but it's available now. And what she does is gives you detailed support on parenting these wonderful teens, literally A to Z. And you can use that QR code to get that. And we'll be discussing why smart, twice exceptional teens struggle. So let's welcome Dr. Susan Blumberg from Dr. Susan Coaching, who is a life coach for parents, teens, and young adults. So Susan, welcome to my show. And a lot more than that, but
Thank you so much, Debbie, for that wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
well, you deserved it. You've accomplished quite a bit. 35,000 member parent community.
Yes, it's been running live for 14 years, and it's an international community. Though most of our members are from the US, Canada, and the UK, we have over 70 countries represented.
Wow, that's amazing. Anyways, I have some ideas for you. But anyways, what is it, we're going to start off with, our interview here. And, some people don't quite understand new terminology in the special needs realm, I guess is the best way to put it. What is the definition of twice exceptional?
Yes. Well, twice exceptional means that kids are both gifted, and it can be intellectually, in art, music, athletics, dance, or in any area of endeavor, meaning they're in the top 2% of the field that they're in, not just high achieving, meaning they get A's, but absolutely at the very top of their field. And they also have one or more disability labels. So, for example, my own children, my son has 2 disability labels, my daughter has 5.
Oh, wow.
Very common for these children to have multiple disability labels, such as ADHD, learning disabilities, anxiety and depression, and autism. But they can also have physical disabilities, such as cerebral palsy, blindness, deafness, and other physical disabilities.
Yeah, I know that. Now, when it comes to, it seems like a lot of these kids do have anxiousness, don't they?
Yes, anxiety is a comorbid or common co-occurring diagnosis in 50% or more of these kids.
Yeah. And maybe it's due to they feel like they don't fit in.
Well, it's also not just that they don't fit in, but that it's difficult for them to cope. Difficult to cope in school, difficult to get along with peers, difficult for them to manage their day-to-day lives. And that's for a number of reasons. One is because not all schools are well trained in how to handle twice exceptional kids. It is about 10% of the special needs population are twice exceptional, but a lot of schools are not professionally trained in the special needs of kids who they may be trained in how to deal with giftedness, they may be trained in how to deal with disabilities, but that intersection requires special training.
Yeah, and a lot of schools don't have the funding necessary to provide services, and it doesn't help that some states are cutting services as well.
That is so true. Special needs services are being cut drastically now, but only 27 states out of 50 even have gifted education programs at all, and many of those do not have mandatory funding. So that when you have a kid who both has disability and giftedness, they're even less able to access services.
That's what's so sad about this whole thing.
Yes.
And then the other kids are, sometimes bullies to them as well. And that's another sad thing.
Bullying is a dreadful problem for any kid with disabilities. Just in and of itself, my own daughter was physically assaulted by another child, literally hit in the stomach and the head. I witnessed it, saw her fall over backwards in the snow. I had to bring police to her school, and the principal didn't even want to deal with it because she felt there were other problems more important than students being physically assaulted on the grounds of her school. And that was an absolute disgrace. It really was. Yes.
Yeah, because you're not training people. I hate to say the word training, but these kids aren't training. So it's typical on everything else if they're not disciplined for something they've done wrong.
Yes. And teachers are not trained on how to manage bullying. They believe that it's a kid-to-kid problem as opposed to a cultural problem, especially when kids are bullying children with disabilities. The stigma of a child having a disability disability runs through both staff, parents, and what parents are teaching their children about how they should address other kids with disabilities. It's a very sad issue in our society. Fortunately, there are high quality bully prevention programs that can be brought to schools, and that should be something that is funded.
Yeah. It's important because, we're in a world where people are different, and even people that seem normal, they have issues too. And
Of course. No, just being a teenager, I work with teens, just being a teen is so difficult in this day and age. There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's issues with being on screens and phones. After COVID, the levels of loneliness and depression, even the Surgeon General issued a report on mental health issues in teens. Then you add the issues of giftedness and disability on top of that, and our children require so much more support now than they did in the past.
And it's not only children, it goes all the way up into college too.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
And this is where I come in as a coach for young adults, college age, and even past college age, where our kids haven't received the training they need to become the independent, successful adults. And this does, to some extent, fall back on us as parents, but also in our school systems, where teens and young adults are not receiving the training they need to learn how to be independent. We're not teaching them the life skills, budgeting, hygiene, how to clean our homes, do their laundry, manage their checkbooks, learn how to deal with supervisors, with professors. Parents do so much of that, again, especially during COVID. It got much worse, where teens did not have those opportunities for interactions with professors, with teachers, with supervisors the same way. And we lost some ground in teaching what I call, all of us in the field call, executive functioning skills. And that's not just your materials or your backpack or your computer. It's about flexible thinking. It's about how to plan assignments. It's about how to manage when you have 5 homework assignments and you have to go to a job and you have to clean your room. You have to contribute to the household, and how to manage that under the supervision of your parents so that when you leave home, you're ready to be an independent adult.
And that's so very important. But yes, COVID kind of put a monkey wrench for everybody.
Yes, it did.
Not the 10% that of special needs. So
exactly.
So now, how does parenting, since we kind of touched a little bit of this,
yes,
of twice exceptional teens differ from parenting of other teens?
Such an excellent question. So there are some complex questions when you have a kid who's both gifted and has disabilities, because a lot of it depends on which one was recognized first, because giftedness can mask disabilities and disabilities can mask giftedness. And so in the school system, these kids can look, quote unquote, average because it washes out a little, and they can look less competent than even typical teens because they're struggling with that twiceness, because sometimes they can look really bright in an area of extreme giftedness. These kids they called little professors sometimes, right? Because they're brilliant in math, or they're brilliant in reading and writing, or they're brilliant in robotics or psychology, or their special area of interest. But they can also look extremely weak in math or in writing or reading. Perhaps they have dyslexia, or their attention and focus is so distracted and so weak that they can't complete normal everyday assignments. And yet, if you speak to them, rather than ask them to write or take a test, they can tell you more about physics or astronomy or history or philosophy than many college professors. So these are kids who might be in 3rd grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, but can read at a graduate school level. That was my daughter. And
Okay.
my son, for fun, would ask me to bring home high school level math workbooks and would do math in second grade at a college level. So
Wow.
these kids do not look typical. And then they're bored and distracted in the classroom. They can't sit still. My son was the class clown because he was bored with what was happening in the classroom and just wanted to play with his friends, because sitting still and listening to the teacher lecture and doing grade level workbooks did not engage them.
No.
And so parenting these kids is so much more difficult, because finding how to teach them when they're at the highest level in some areas and at the lowest level in other areas is not something that every teacher is prepared to address.
You're exactly right. I mean, I actually talked to a teacher that, worked with special needs kids, and they said, I'm not given a time to do something for each individual kid that was completely different.
Exactly.
And it's a
And
very
yet
stressful.
we have to,
Yes.
because they're in school and they're entitled by law to what's called a free and appropriate public education.
Yes.
That's what the law says. And so schools and special education teachers and learning specialists have to provide the appropriate education to every kid in every classroom, regardless of the fact that they have these extreme ups and downs. That's the twice exceptional. They're exceptionally high in some areas. They might be exceptionally low in other areas. And parents find the same thing at home. So kids might be really good at doing some tasks at home, and they might be really poor at doing other tasks. And so when they're able to focus clearly, like my daughter loved to cook from a very young age. That's how she ended up becoming an accredited pastry chef.
Okay.
She also have a bachelor's degree with a major in biology and a minor in chemistry, because that stuff fascinated her. And chemistry is very important in baking.
Yes, it
You
is.
have, whereas in cooking, you can kind of, do a splash of this and a splash of that. You can't do that in baking. It's all about the chemistry. Everything has to be measured precisely, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
My son, on the other hand, math, science, STEM, robotics, right? He hates to read. We had so much trouble in elementary school getting him to read, till we learned that if we gave him nonfiction, if we gave him stuff about science and hurricanes and tornadoes and trains and airplanes, he would read for hours. But give him a novel, forget it. He couldn't read a page. So as parents, learning how to cope with the needs of our kids, giving them what we call non-preferred material first. They had to do the required work, and then we could give them what they loved. That's their reward. They didn't get rewarded with candy or Hot Wheels or whatever it was. We have to balance with our kids what they need to learn with what they want to learn. And it's a very delicate balancing act as teachers or parents.
Yeah, because at first you don't really know what you're. Tell you the truth, nobody's given a parent manual for any kid.
No, not even on the typical ones.
Yeah, I know. So it's hard to figure out. Okay, what are they into when they're very young? What?
That's right.
My son, for some reason, started spelling with those magnetic letters.
How fun! That's brilliant.
So, and he could tell time really at an early age. But my whole point is like you don't really, you go, oh.
Exactly. And then we have to take into account the social emotional piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, with twice exceptional kids, now all kids have social emotional roller coasters, toddlers, so up and down, tantrums. It goes with the territory. But then they even out over time. And with neurotypical kids, the average kids, right, they learn from watching what's happening around them. They see how other people behave, and they learn to behave in typical situations.
Yes.
Twice exceptional kids don't learn the same way. Some kids are able to watch what other kids do and absorb it, but most kids with disabilities and twice exceptional kids have to be specifically taught how to manage their emotions, and most of them deal with what we call sensory overload.
Yes.
And so too much emotion can overwhelm them and they have to hide. Other kids want more sensory input. They need squeezes. If you've ever watched any of the Temple Grandin material or saw her movie with Claire Danes, she needed more sensory input, and she created a squeeze machine where she could get lots of pressure on her to soothe her body and feelings. Other kids need darkness and quiet and need more time away from people. Even sitting at the dinner table for more than 5 or 10 minutes can be overwhelming. And you and I chatted about this briefly. A lot of kids with disabilities have food sensitivities.
Yeah,
they have difficulty with textures of foods. And so eating becomes very difficult. I was very fortunate that one of my children is an avid eater of many textures. My other child, until he was about 10 years old, ate beige food. We could have white bread. We could have noodles with butter. We could have plain pastas, ravioli, for example, no tomato sauce. He still hates tomatoes. Pizza, no tomato sauce on it, just cheese, nothing else, no tomato sauce. We couldn't eat in Chinese restaurants. We couldn't go to any restaurants unless they had beige food, plain chicken. It was impossible to eat out with him. And this is my kid with less severe special needs, but he was still twice exceptional. So dealing with their nutritional needs makes it more difficult for them to participate in normal society life.
And you know, pretty much the nutritional component for these kiddos, it really has to do with their gut.
Yes.
They don't have a healthy gut. And, you know, we were brought up by our parents who didn't really eat healthy foods to begin with. And so my mom would get like croissants, things like that.
I'm very fond of croissant.
I know, but my whole point was, it's like, it's not healthy food.
It's not healthy.
No. And the kids on the spectrum do have gut issues. You need to, you know, stay away from gluten foods. And our current wheat products are GMO, which makes it even complicated to digest our foods, you know, our gluten. We don't even have the gluten enzyme to digest ancient wheat in the first place. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
And it creates gut issues. It creates GERD. It creates all these weird.
And GERD is reflux. If people don't know that word, they might know the word reflux. When the food feels like it's coming back up, you feel acid in your stomach. It makes you not want to eat foods that are related to that.
And it's
acidic foods like tomatoes,
tomato sauce.
That's why my son wouldn't eat pizza, because of tomato sauce on it. So in case people aren't familiar with those terms.
Yeah. So pretty much that reflux is creating a whole bunch of things of
exactly.
The esophagus is, you know, near the stomach. There's like a little closing. If it's not closing all the way, and it's coming back up and regurgitating. So if you have somebody, if you have an infant that's like a waterfall baby where they're vomiting things like that, then they have a GERD problem. And unfortunately, they can't diagnose that until they're 2 years old. My whole point is that, like your son, my son always say, I can't eat nuts. And I'm like, what? You never had nuts? I'm like, okay. And so when he was 9 years old, because he was a very picky eater and wasn't eating very well, he was small on the failure to thrive chart for growth and all this other stuff. We changed the way we fed him. We changed the supplementation for him, and then he started eating food. All of a sudden, he started asking for food. Like, you'll see, I'm eating swordfish. Can I have some of that swordfish? I'm like, yes.
My son loves swordfish.
And he was eating every bite. And then accidentally ate something with pine nuts. Whoops. he had allergy.
A nut, a nut.
And then he had walnuts in Costa Rica, another allergy. So it's like, you knew you had allergies for nuts for a long, long time. But my whole point is that he's a kid, he'll eat any exotic meat, anything whenever we travel. And he's open to eating a whole bunch of variety of foods that
Yes.
when they're kiddos, are like, they couldn't because they couldn't. I'm sorry,
Right.
they just, you know.
I want to really emphasize this, because what happens with a lot of kids with disabilities who have restricted food intake, they really can't eat it. Whether it's psychological or physical, I want to be very clear. They really can't eat it. And when people say, well, just make them try it, that's not how it works.
No.
Whether it's psychological or physical, they really can't eat a wider variety of foods. Now, there are very successful food therapies that can help, but it is a real thing for these kids. They are restricted, whether it's sensory, they can't tolerate the textures, they can't tolerate the tastes. It feels odd in their mouth or their stomach, and they reject it. It is a real phenomenon for these children. And I want to be very clear with parents about that.
And I was told to give them, waffles with ice cream.
Yeah.
Before I knew all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it was like, that was the worst thing to give this kid. So
But you don't know, because some kids can drink smoothies where they can't take solid foods.
Yes.
My daughter lived on carnation breakfast for a long time before she could take more solid foods. And now my daughter is an extremely adventurous eater, and my son is now, but it wasn't until he was 10 that he was even willing to think about trying something outside of his beige foods.
Yeah, my son had at that time, wanted to be like everybody else. All we're dealing with the food issues at the time and
Yes.
other things. So like I said, I tried the supplementation.
Very important.
And helped his alkalinity, helped his gut, and helped him to eat.
And we all take probiotics now in my family, but it also is in what you offer them. So we had, rules about can't eat cookies or anything unhealthy unless you have fruit, yogurt, or a protein. So we really focused on offering healthier foods, and often then they didn't need any junk food because the healthier foods were available to them.
Exactly.
And there are wonderful people like Debi and others who can work with you and your family on making these transitions.
I even have a probiotic that tastes like root beer.
Oh, that's cute. I would like to try that.
So anyway,
I think the other piece of what you said that I want to address is not getting into power struggles, because I think this is a parenting issue that so many of us don't realize. We feel that we need to help our kids, and we do. But there's different ways to support our children. And this is a message that I talk about in my book. I talk about with my clients all the time. And the way I phrase this is connection first, structure second, always both. And what we want to do as parents, and the way we've been taught in parenting books and parenting classes for decades, is you set rules. There's rules and consequences. And that's not how I work with my families. Again, these children, our twice exceptional children, are extremely advanced in their thinking, because that's what makes them twice exceptional. And so they're able to often think about their issues in a very different way, even though they may be socially and emotionally often 4 to 5 years delayed. But in their thinking, they could be 3, 5, 10 years advanced. And so we have to come across to them in an entirely different way. And that's what I call connection. So instead of saying to our kids, this is what you have to do, these are the rules in our house, instead I suggest that families listen first. What is the need your child is having? What is the feeling your child is experiencing? Let's have good communication, and I teach a framework and vocabulary to help facilitate this, of course, but even if you just said to your kid, what's the struggle you're having? What's making this hard? And we listen. We don't say, no, that's wrong, or that's not the way to do it. We simply listen to what their struggle is. It's amazing what a change that makes, because we're no longer in a power struggle. We're no longer saying, kid, you have to do it my way because I'm the parent. We're listening to our kids, and we're doing what I call validation. Let me finish this one thought and I'll come back to your question, Debbie. Validation means I understand how it makes sense to feel the way you feel, even if I disagree with you.
Yeah, they're a different perspective, a different personality, and that's exactly what it is.
A teen feels so empowered when a parent says that. What were you going to say, Debbie?
Well, you're right now you're getting so many important messages for your parents, even for typical teens and things like that.
Absolutely.
And is there any other important message that you want parents to know?
Well, this was the first one. The first one is listen first.
Okay.
And then we can set up a structure, because now we know what our teen is really struggling with, right?
Right.
The second one is that all of our teens are probably struggling with what I call, all of us in the field call, executive functioning skills. And there are 8 essential executive functioning skills. It's not just about, do they have their notebooks? Do they have their textbooks? Did they pack their backpack? Did they have their clothes out prepared for the next day? That's only 1 or 2 of the essential executive functioning skills. There's impulse control. That's the one, that people say, oh, I have to do math. Oh, there's a squirrel. I'm supposed to be doing my homework. Oh, look, there's a butterfly. That's the one, people know most. But there's also working memory. How many directions can your kid keep in their head at one time? Right?
Right.
Most kids can only keep 1 or 2, and yet teachers and parents are telling them 3 or 4 things to do in a row, and then get mad when they don't finish them. But our kids can't remember those verbally in their head. They need us to slow things down, give only 1 or 2 directions at a time.
Yeah, especially for children, and it depends on the child too. But yeah,
especially our kids with multiple disabilities. And that provokes anxiety. You mentioned that earlier. I know my mom told me something else to do when I can't remember it, and now I'm really anxious because they're going to be mad because they couldn't do everything.
Right.
That's where the anxiety comes in.
Exactly. Now, everybody has problems with their children in some sorts or the other. With twice essential children, it seems like their life is so much harder. Could you explain how that is?
Well, twice exceptional children want to accomplish so much because they're capable of so much. And yet, because of their disabilities, they can't even reach their own goals. So they feel disappointed in themselves. And that's a source of depression and anxiety as well. They feel like, I know I can do better, but I really can't. And so they need help and support, the kids, but so do the parents, because the parents feel like they're failing their kids.
Yes.
And so I always recommend that parents find a therapist. I'm a parenting coach. I work one-on-one with parents all the time. I offer group programs for parents, because parents have to feel like they're capable and competent. And so I tell parents the concept of the good enough parent. We can't be perfect. We're human. We're going to make mistakes, and we have complicated kids.
And you learn from mistakes. I'm sorry. It's a growth moment. So
exactly. I so believe in the growth mindset, which is we do the best we can with what we have. And then we figure out what we don't know and we learn it.
Exactly. It's interesting, not all kids are exactly the way you describe. There can be a mixture of them. But you just learn what is best for your child, no matter what,
Yes.
and where they thrive, and what they really like to do. And what makes them calm.
Support their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just about you didn't do your homework, you didn't turn in the assignment, you're missing this, you didn't clean your room, your clothes are dirty. It's not about that. It's about you're brilliant at art. Let's find you an art program.
Mm-hmm.
You're brilliant at robotics. Let's put you in a robotics program. Mm-hmm. You're brilliant at science. Let's find you a STEM program. My daughter is brilliant at science, but she's a pastry chef. And she's amazing. You cannot tell. She cooks gluten-free and allergy-free pastries.
Wonderful.
You cannot tell that anything she makes is gluten-free.
Oh, wow.
She makes wedding cakes to die for.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. And you guys are what, in Colorado or something?
Yes, we're in Colorado.
Oh, dear. Well, you know, she should probably do a, make it into like I can't even think of the word now, but like, a franchise.
I'm not sure she's ready to expand yet outside of our kitchen, but the point is, let's find their strengths. Let's, as parents, support the strengths of our children instead of just focusing on all the things they aren't good at. Let's help them blossom.
And that's for every child.
Of course, but other children, typical children, their teachers can help them with that. They're good at finding those things. All parents should praise their children all the time, but our kids need a little extra support in doing that.
Extra care. I get it. So, I know you have some wonderful offers today.
I do.
So
I'm going to post my first offer here.
Okay. Actually, they won't see it post.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about this way.
We'll post it here. So I am offering a wonderful resource for parents who would like to help their kids learn these executive functioning skills that I mentioned. There are 8 essential executive functioning skills listed in this handout. It's 5 or 6 pages, I can't remember now, and under each description there are tips and strategies that parents can implement at home right now so that you can immediately make changes in your kids' lives. And then, of course, the book is available on Amazon right now. Please help yourself to the ebook or the print paperback copy. It's officially launching on Tuesday. I'd love a good review if you feel like you find the book helpful.
Yeah. So there's a QR code for your Path Independent Living. The link is https://resource.drsusan Blumberg, that's B as in boy, LUM, B as in boy, ERG.com/parents-opt-in. So that's for your download. And the book, you would have to look up her name, and I already spelled her name, Dr. Susan Blumberg, and The Parenting Compass, Why Smart Teens Struggle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. These are wonderful offers, and I'm looking forward to, looking at that book and everything else. I really appreciate you being here as a guest with me today.
Thank you so much.
And do you want to be a guest again?
I would love to.
There's a lot more to talk about. So.
Oh, absolutely. And so much we could talk about in terms of families and school. And what's really important, I want to say one last thing. There are lots of books about schooling and identifying twice exceptional kids. What's different about my work is I talk to the parents. Parents, you deserve the support. Please reach out to me if you have any questions that I can answer. And Debbie, I'm so pleased you invited me. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Okay, and I want you to stick around for closing remarks of the show.
Of course.
We'll come back to say some more. Okay, thank you. Now, remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. Pretty much I'm helping you with the gut first. I'm a gut focused person and mindset. But I can also help you with hormones, blood sugar, brain and heart, as well as immunity and bone and joint. I help people that are anxious up to athletes of all ages. And I do guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrient products. They'll help you reduce your symptoms and make you feel better, and possibly lose some weight. I actually lost, I was on maintenance at 50, and then all of a sudden I changed what I was doing and lost an additional 20 pounds. And I became a half marathon runner as well. All this is going to do is uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I help you release your stress, your emotions, the emotional entanglements from the past. I'm there and guiding you, helping you reshape your core beliefs. And your mindset will be enhanced. Now, with my health optimization and weight release, your body will be more efficient. So that's a mind-body solution that makes your heart and soul sing. So ask me about my program. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, and Victory ES.com/Linktree, LINKTREE, or use that QR code. And there you get to know me. I get to know you. And I'll guide you to your optimal health. And it first starts with 1 or 2 health assessments. The one that's complimentary is a health evaluation where you rate your symptoms the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are multiple categories, so answer all the questions and you'll get a baseline score. I will review it with you, and I'll create that custom, natural, holistic strategy unique for you, and we'll monitor your progress on a monthly basis, and you will see improvement. Also, I have several body scans. One is the Visera link. I love this one because I can send it remotely and internationally. It's actually got to Australia as well as South Africa. The Visera link is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds. It's going directly into your skin to only looking at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, and emotional in different body systems and lifestyles. And that emotional one is such a hidden gem because it's based on traditional Chinese medicine, where a emotion like anger is connected to the liver. Now, this is not a diagnosis. This creates a wellness report because everything is biomarkers out of range at different levels, okay? And then biomarkers are brought back into range with products or services. The scan is a very complicated report, so I do review it with you. Until tomorrow, Friday, I have a half-price program that you can go to get a Visera Gold voucher, which is at DEBI changeslives.com. Visera spelled VISERA, golden voucher, and you can get a half price off. Now, because we're so short on time, you may want to set up a time to talk to me, to ask me more questions about this, and then go to that site and purchase that golden voucher. Now, Visera Link is also a transdermal optical imaging app known as TOI. You can look up its accuracy on pubmed.gov. People are really amazed when they do the scan, what their body tells them. Curious, get the scan done, or ask me questions on my consultation site. On my consultation site are all my programs, and these are just a few. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you're going to be using a new version of you to drive you to success. All coaching is done on Zoom, and the first one's always private to you. Because I am a certified HEPA health practitioner, any evaluation is private to you. I go over those valuations. I go over the 3 different programs that you can do. One's a natural approach to the GLP-1 with no injections or what the medical model causes. I give you directions on whatever program that you choose. I also give you directions how to create that new version of you that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation goals throughout your journey. The rest of the coaching is the same in private and group. You will be celebrating your wins. You also will be utilizing your borders, and I'll be guiding you with gaps with health and mindset tips, as well as you're welcome to ask questions. You'll become a new you. This program is 20% off until tomorrow, July 31st, 2026. The code is SUMMER. Again, you want to go to the site for more information, which is debichangeslives.com/take your body back. The first letter of each word is capitalized and it's all one word. Again, if you want this discount, you contact me on my Linktree and set up a consultation and we will work it out. But it ends tomorrow. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, Why Fast is for You is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming in turn boosts your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients with a program of exercises and recipes. Here at the site, you can ask me questions. If you feel like you need some coaching, you can pay for a 2 or 4-week program to get you going. It's after that, you can pay for more if you want to. With mindset enhancement as well as health optimization, you can use a smaller programs, but they're meant to be with a larger time frame. But I can also create a custom program for you, so maybe we can save some time and money. I'm still offering NewCom for people of all ages and all issues that they may have. It is a brainwave entrainment tool that uses isochronic tones underneath music. It helps you release stress, gets you better sleep, relaxation, mental clarity, focus, recovery, resilience, and balances your nervous system. It was originally designed as a FDA medical device, so doctors and dentists didn't have to use anesthesia. And then special ops, military, sports teams, and even Special Olympians use this product. I'm offering you a 15% lifetime discount with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it can be canceled at any time. You can ask me questions or go to the site for more information, which is https://bit.ly/newcom with a capital N, lowercase u, capital C, lowercase ALM. And then lifetime and discount only has a capital letter at the beginning. It's all one word. And find out what is going to work out for you. It helps me and my son quite a bit. And finally, learn more about alternative health services, products, programs, offers, as well as promos and events and upcoming shows by subscribing to my newsletter, which is at debichangeslives.com/radio TV show, or use that QR code. You'll get a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, food, water, supplements, and exercise done on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, see your wins and celebrate them. Find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging that gap, you contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I am certain that you found this show educational, eye-opening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, products, programs, and offers. And remember, those summer offers are ending on July 31st, 2026, which is tomorrow. So contact me if you're interested. And reach out to Dr. Susan for her services, her book, and the opt-in that she gave you. Now, do we have time to bring Dr. Susan back?
Hello.
Hi. So now you have more time to talk.
I always have more to say.
I know, it's okay.
I think I want to say two last thoughts. The first is I want everyone to think about people that they hear about in the news every day, people who are heads of big companies, people who are trailblazers. Think about Elon Musk, Bill Gates. Think about Samantha Biles. Yeah. Think about people that you hear about who are creating incredible businesses, entrepreneurs, artists, Lady Gaga. Think about people you hear about who are doing incredible things and yet talk about the fact that they have ADHD or dyslexia or have children with autism. These are all twice exceptional people. Yeah, think about Stevie Wonder, who's blind because of prematurity. My daughter did not go blind because we were caught it in time. She has the same disease of her eyes that Stevie Wonder has. She was also a premature baby. And yet he is one of the greatest musicians of all time.
And Richard Branson, dyslexic.
Richard Branson with dyslexia. Mm-hmm. Think about Albert Einstein, who is known to have been autistic and have dyslexia and ADHD. These people are all twice exceptional, all of them. Mm-hmm. Many great actors, many great artists, right?
Yes.
All of these people fall under the category of twice exceptional. You'd be amazed at how many people in your day-to-day life, think of doctors, lawyers, creators, inventors, entrepreneurs, people who dropped out of college because they could not function under the restrictions and yet created incredible businesses and programs, people, creators of nonprofits that help people like the ones we're talking about, right? But
Yeah.
could not function within the strict confines of high school or college or normal corporate business environments, and yet have created amazing things. And
Yes.
then think about your children who are not doing well in high school or college or need to move on. I help my clients get GEDs. I help my clients go into trade programs because they can't function within very strict environments, and yet they have the most amazing ideas.
And there's always possibilities to help these kids in different ways.
Exactly.
So, I do have to wrap up the show.
That's okay. I just wanted to share that hope for the future.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So we'll talk a little bit afterwards. So thank you for being my guest today, and I will have you back. So continue to join my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.